NHK World.
Hello and welcome to News Today 30 Minutes. In today's headlines. In Indonesia, delegates from around the world gather to discuss how to tackle global warming. Another climate summit is being held in Japan. This one is specifically on water. The government meets on reforming the scandal-tainted defense ministry. Delegates from 187 countries and economies are meeting at a UN conference in Bali, Indonesia. They're gathered to seek a new framework to replace the Kyoto Protocol on global warming, which expires in 2012. But China and some other countries trying to lift their people from poverty say that industrialized countries should shoulder more of the burden, while a new framework should not impose any caps on their nations. A clear division between the developing and developed countries is becoming clear at the venue. NHK World's Stania Puspawardhani, now in Bali, has more.
The 30th Conference of the UN Framework on Climate Change started on Monday. It is scheduled to run through December 14. At the outset of the meeting, Australian delegates received applause as they announced that the country's new government is willing to ratify the Kyoto Protocol. Participants aim to adopt a Bali roadmap to lay out the negotiation process for a new framework to replace the Kyoto Protocol. But the Pakistani delegation criticized the industrialist nation for proposing tough measures for all nations.
Developing countries which historically were not responsible for the climate change problem have rights and priorities in meeting their present and future development needs.
Another emitting giant, the United States, is taking a cautious stance toward mandatory emission cuts. U.S. senior climate negotiator Harlan Watson told reporters that the United States is ready to flexibly deal with the process toward a new framework. But Dr. Watson added the country does not want to decide what kind of agreement is possible at this stage. The United States, the world's largest greenhouse gas emitter, withdrew from the Kyoto Protocol. The participants are divided over measures to tackle global warming. While the future of the planet hangs in the balance, the discussions at the Bali conference will face some tough going. Stania Puspawardhani, NHK World, Bali Island.